The new moon on September the 14th aids somewhat as a check-in point, like a global check-in point, where we all get to really take a step back and pause, especially because Mercury is about to then move direct again. So it really gives that opportunity for this check-in point to really assimilate all the changes that really happened with Mercury retrograde, with all the energetic shifts that happen. And then also, of course, the new moon really brings that energy of the new beginning as well. So the key theme for this particular new moon on the 14th is really that global check-in point. And in this video today, I want to share with you the 5 key things that I think you should know about so you really can make the most out of this energy and this check-in point to then also help you really move forward and embrace the new beginnings that are available to you right now. The first thing I would like for you to know is that now this also brings that invitation to really go within and assimilate all the changes, all the insights, all the shifts that took place during Mercury retrograde season. Now, Mercury goes direct again around the 15th, so the day after the new moon. And the key theme for this Mercury retrograde season was all about solidifying your path. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about the Mercury retrograde season, I also have the video in the description below where I give you the insights into the key things to know about this Mercury retrograde season, so you can also really get some more clarity of if you haven't done so already, because the key theme was really about solidifying your path. And now this new moon is really that invitation to take that time out to really go within and assimilate all the changes, all the insights that you've gained throughout Mercury retrograde season. Basically, you need to go within and let it all settle. Let it really all settle before you can really move forward. Because you may have noticed that things were a little slower the first half of September because you're still going through Mercury retrograde season, right? Everything is slower, but you may have had a lot of ideas, a lot of shifts were happening internally, externally. You have gotten ideas, you've gotten insights and things like that. And now you need to take some time out to really let it settle, because then once Mercury moves direct again, it's time to really move ahead. It's about moving forward, acting on those ideas. But before you can do that and move ahead, you need to take some time out and really let it settle, really let it all sink in, so you can really, like I said, it's this global check-in point, right? So it's not about taking massive action right now. It's really checking in to really assimilate all the changes that happen, all the insights that you have gained. Which brings me to the second point here, is that also this is an invitation to really make a plan. Make a plan on how do you want to move forward. You should have received insights and guidance and downloads and visions, maybe even, of what your highest path may be moving forward. Like I said, it was all about solidifying your path, right? So now it's really that invitation to really pause, to tune in, to assimilate, and also to make a plan. It really gets some clarity of, okay, how do you want the rest of 2023 to go for you? Maybe then even glance ahead, 2024. What is that path for you? What is that higher path? Maybe you haven't really started yet and you really feel called to, well, there's something that wants to come through, that wants to be expressed through you. Maybe something that you want to start. Make a plan for that. Or if you're already feeling like you're on your path, maybe then really tune in to see, well, what is that more evolved path for you? And really make that plan. What are some action steps that you can take? What are some things that you need to put into place? Really make that plan. Write it all down. Really contemplate. Mastermind with yourself. Mastermind with your soul even. To really get that insights into, okay, what is that next step for me? And then really set those intentions for how you want to move forward, because the time to act is near. Like I said, Mercury is about to go direct again, and then you will feel that forward moving energy. The second half of September is really that forward moving energy again. You're meant to then act on those ideas, the insights that you have gained. And like I said, this new moon is really that global check-in point for you to really pause, to make that plan, because the time to move ahead is very near. So you may already feel somewhat of an inner excitement bubbling up that, yes, I'm about to take action, because that's really what you're then being invited to do, is then to act on those intentions, act on that plan, really starting to take those steps, starting to take those actions to really implement that plan. Because very soon you will feel that inner shift that, okay, now is that time. You will know when it's time to move ahead. So just pay attention to that. Then the third piece here is I would like for you to know is that you may also have somewhat of a sense of inner growth and clarity because you have gotten so many insights, or you should have gotten a lot of insights, throughout Mercury retrograde season to really help you really move forward. Maybe some visions, insights, guidance, downloads, all of those different things. And it's all to really help you really elevate your path, elevate your life, and elevate yourself as well. So you have that greater clarity and you feel that growth as well because so much has shifted, so much has happened over these last, few weeks. And even August was a big month as well. And now it's coming all together, really helping you to move forward. Your mental mind also received somewhat of an upgrade as well, or an overhaul. Giving you those insights into what to do, what to let go of, what is outdated, and those type of things. What have you outgrown? So just embrace that, really tune into that, really allow yourself to really gain that crystal clarity, because the more clear you can be, the easier it will be then for you to also to make that plan, to move forward. And here it really takes that time and space. You want to make that time and space to tune in, to really allow yourself to connect with your dreams, your desires, your intentions, and all of those things, and really get that clarity, really tuning in, connecting with soul to see, okay, what do I feel called to do moving forward, to really then make that plan. Because right now you've gotten that, you've grown enough, you've gotten the clarity to really help you make that plan to move forward. Then the fourth piece here is that this new moon truly aids as a check-in point for humanity, for the globe, for every single living being. It's about pausing, really tuning in, checking in with yourself to see what works, what doesn't, what feels in alignment, what doesn't, what do you desire and what is outdated. Really getting that clarity. This is like really that moment for pause. It's not about acting, but it's really to pause, to really get that clarity, to assess, to acknowledge, to also acknowledge yourself for how far you have come. Because this year has been intense in so many ways. On an energetic level, it has been very, very intense. Now, you may have experienced a lot of psychic attacks, a lot of energetic shifts, and things like that. So now it's really that time to really just pause, to check in with yourself. Are you still on the right path? Is what you have been doing still in alignment with you? Is there maybe more evolved way? What is working? What is not? All of those different things. Because when you pause and you really tune in and you allow yourself to become aware of all that is out of alignment, you then have that opportunity to move back into alignment so you can really move forward, because you don't want to keep going and keep being in misalignment, right? Being misaligned to your path, your mission, your purpose, your desires, and all of those things, right? You want to really take that time out to pause and connect. And like I said, this new moon is an absolute beautiful opportunity to check in with yourself about every area of your life. Then the fifth piece here is that you may not actually also, if you're really taking that time out, you may not actually feel that sense of celebration, the sense of victory, because you have gotten this far, okay? Because this year, like I said, it has been intense on so many different levels, and you may have gone through many, many challenges this year. You may have grown tremendously. You have experienced so much. So now you may not feel that sense of victory, that sense of celebration, that I made it, yay, right? And here it's also an invitation to celebrate. Celebrate your wins. The small ones, the big ones, the in-between ones. Really celebrate your wins. Acknowledge your dedication to your path. Really take that time out. Give yourself that pat on the shoulder, right? And really acknowledge yourself for having made it through all this. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times this year I almost said, I'm done with the spiritual path. I want to go back to being unconscious and not aware of any of those things. Right? But it's like, this is our path and we got to keep going. And just acknowledge yourself for that. Really celebrate that. Celebrate that victory that you've made it through this year so far. You've made it through to this point right now. And also celebrate your dedication to your path. That is really the invitation for this new moon with this whole check-in, is really to really check in with all areas of your life, to acknowledge yourself, to acknowledge your growth, to also then celebrate that, and to really then make that plan. Okay, how am I going to move forward now? That's really the key essence of this new moon. And I really hope that it helped you get some clarity of how you can really make the most out of this new moon energy. If you like this video so far, if you've gotten value out of it, do me a favor, hit the like button and maybe leave me a a comment below. Let me know. If you're already feeling those shifts already, what are you experiencing right now? I would love to know. And now the way you can really make the most out of it is, I really want to invite you, take time out. That is really the best thing that you can do, is take time out for that inner contemplation. Do some meditation to really calm your mind, tuning in, connecting with soul, and really allow all these things to just kind of bubble up. Really just acknowledge yourself for all that you have been through this year. Really just be in that inner contemplation and let whatever wants to come up, let it come to the surface. Acknowledge it. If something comes up that is not so pleasant, acknowledge that too. Work through that energy, because maybe some negative energies are coming up, some negative feelings of, maybe you're feeling exhausted, maybe you're feeling stressed, maybe you're still feeling a little worried or whatnot. Just acknowledge whatever comes up, but then allow yourself to just let that go, because that is that old you. You don't have to worry no more. You don't have to stress no more. Let that go, and then really align yourself to that higher path moving forward. Let all that has happened up until this point, and especially like with these energies, let it all settle in. Like I said, August was a big month, and now it's like really you're assimilating all that. You're really letting it all settle, especially with the whole Mercury retrograde. You're all letting it settle in. So really take that time out, let it settle, let it assimilate, and then before you then really move forward, then tune in and allow those inner shifts to take place. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. Now be sure to check out this video here about really unleashing your potential by working with the Akashic Records to really accelerate your personal and spiritual growth. I think you're going to enjoy that. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.